we've got some pretty big stuff going on. Apparently, we're going back in time, getting some deja vu with Coffeezilla being sued by Logan Paul yet again. And this is, again, I don't know if the first time he officially sued him, but he said he was going to. Finally, I guess a few years later, he's pulled the trigger and decides that he's got to sue Coffeezilla. He's gone too far. And of course, this is about Logan Paul's CryptoZoo scam. So his accusations, Coffeezilla's 3-part series. I just don't know why it's so late. What are we doing here, right? These videos came out years ago at this point, and now you've threatened to sue him, got the backlash, did all the hoops, jumped through all the hoops, then congratulated him and said, "Oh, actually, thank you, Coffeezilla. You did me a favor. You're the best. You brought this to light when I couldn't." And he dropped the lawsuit. And now, all this time later, after praising him, saying he's actually the greatest person in the world, he's back to suing him, apparently. So I don't know what's going on with Logan Paul, why he's going through these different stages here. Maybe he's in denial of CryptoZoo. It's just not going away. I don't think it should go away. This is the lawsuit right here. You can see Logan Paul versus Stephen, I don't even know how to say his last name, but Coffee Break Production, his company, or Coffeezilla. So this is, we'll see what he says here and the nature of the action here, this complaint, saying that Logan Paul is a globally recognized entertainer, athlete, entrepreneur, brings this defamation action against the defendant, Stephen, I don't know how to say his last name, a self-described investigative journalist and internet detective with no actual journalism training or private investigator's license, to hold him accountable for maliciously and repeatedly publishing false statements, accusing Paul of operating a scam in connection with a troubled blockchain project called CryptoZoo. What are we doing here? That first statement is insane. So first of all, up here it's saying Logan Paul, globally recognized entertainer, athlete, entrepreneur. It's like, oh, he's look at this guy. He's so great. He's ambitious. He's amazing. And then yeah, that Coffeezilla guy, he's a internet detective. And by the way, he's not actually a detective or an investigator. He doesn't have his license. It's just kind of funny to see them doing that, going like paint himself as the best in a lawsuit, still trying to play like this clout game. Like, I'm actually the best. He's actually the worst. And then also, in connection with a troubled blockchain project, didn't he found this thing? Wasn't Logan, this whole CryptoZoo thing, like Logan Paul's #1 idea, his ambition, his want to do it? It wasn't like Dink Doink, where he was involved in that, but he didn't found it, but he was involved in, running Dink Doink, scamming people again on that side. But this one, he started himself, didn't he? So I don't know what this is, in connection with. I'm pretty sure he's a founder of that whole thing, but okay. And it goes on saying he, talking about his 3-part YouTube series in 2022, and then continuing to the present. And he used this, basically saying here that he knowingly, he perpetuated this false narrative despite knowing it to be completely, utterly false in order to enhance his own profits and increase his viewership and income in the process. So again, Coffeezilla before this series was already a big YouTuber, right? He was already close to 1 million subs, I think. I think this series pushed him over it, but like he was going to get there. He was already a big YouTuber. He already had, insane videos, and the production was insane. Like, he was going to get there. He did not need to use Logan Paul's name to get there, but this story just came up. It was a big story, and people watched it because of it was interesting, and because he came out with a bunch of different evidence and people's stories and investors and the group that you put together and dug into them. Like, people didn't just watch it and it didn't go viral because he was lying and people were like, oh my God, yeah, Coffeezilla. Like, I don't think that was anything to do with it. And I guess the big thing in this case, what I think with lawsuits like this thing, he knowingly, this is the part that people have to try and prove in these cases, is that you knowingly spread false information, you knowingly lied, which is basically impossible to do, because even if someone is lying, how do you prove that they're knowingly lying? Like, if someone was telling you the sky's green, but you have to prove that they know that the sky is not green, you can't do that, right? Like, it's very, very difficult to do that. So this lawsuit here, which is basically I don't even know what's going on here, but this is like 40 something pages of a lawsuit. It's insane. I think there's pictures down here of something. We'll see, because Logan Paul was fighting that, he ruined his reputation. Those aren't these pictures. I think those are the videos, but he has them here somewhere about, there's some tweets. We gotta be, this lawsuit's insane. This is some of the longest lawsuits ever, but here we go. So this is what he puts here, saying, for example, he called Paul evil. This people are being mean to Logan Paul on the internet. Can you believe it? And him saying, some tweets here saying like professional liar and now a scammer too, a scam dog, millionaire. How do you get away with the grift after his admission? Crimes get washed away after a certain point, I guess. And how is he still so popular? He's clearly a scammer. So he's pulling these and saying, look what Coffeezilla did. He made people tweet mean things to me. Like, I think there was one event that you were involved in, Logan, that made people maybe want to tweet mean things to you. Just maybe. One event, one really big one. You know what it is. But, it's just kind of funny. And they handpick these tweets. Like, they're so random. 2 likes, 5 likes. This one banged, I guess, 96 likes. Like, I guess this one has 0. Like, you're really not helping your point when you're pulling these random these guys have all random profile pictures. I mean, maybe this guy's him, I don't know. But they got like anime profile pictures. They could just be random ghost accounts. And it's like no one's interacting with them. People are barely even seeing these tweets. And this is what you pull out and say, look, Coffeezilla, he ruined my life. He made people tweet at me. At the end of the day, I think that this is going to be very bad for Logan Paul. Just because suing anyone in like on YouTube is just never positively looked at. Nobody enjoys that. Nobody supports that. So this is going to blow up, and I think Coffeezilla will probably talk about it. And then all of the normal commentary channels like Some Ordinary Gamers, Moist Critical, these guys will talk about it and just put more eyes on it. And then Coffeezilla will very easily, if he wants to, can get support from the community and from people and raise a bunch of money to fight Logan Paul, right? And then Logan's either going to drop it or continue trying to dump this money into this lawsuit. But if it goes to court, that's going to be even more detrimental for Logan because people aren't going to support him suing at all. And I don't think he's got a chance at winning this either. So he's going to really embarrass himself and just bringing all this back up. Like, I don't know why you would do that, right? People know CryptoZoo, people remember it and will talk about it probably forever until he refunds all the money, which you probably never do because he would have done it by this point. But this is the internet, right? You just ignore something long enough, eventually it kind of goes away and people stop caring. But now you've brought it right back up to the limelight. You've thrown it in everyone's face, and you're suing Coffeezilla over something just because, I don't know, maybe you don't like that he's gotten successful since then, and you want to take him down because you got mad that he called you out. I don't know. But I do not think that it will go how Logan plans. I don't think that this will be good for him by any means. He already has tons of money, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. So, it's not like it's going to be detrimental to him. But maybe on YouTube, people will not be so, not so happy about this. Nobody likes the lawsuits. We saw with BitBoy and Atozy when BitBoy tried to flex his money, and then Atozy came back and raised money, and then he backed down and all of a sudden was like, no, it doesn't actually matter. I feel like that's what's going to happen here is either Logan's going to drop this because he's going to get so much pressure and there's going to be so much support for Coffeezilla, or he's going to try and get a settlement for trying to get probably no wrongdoings like what we just saw with like Dr. Disrespect and that stuff here, trying to get some no wrongdoing so we can campaign on it and say there was no wrongdoings in CryptoZoo and use the legalese speak. But either way, not too smart of Logan, I don't think. Not the smartest move he could have made. Maybe he's just a little hurt that Coffeezilla made a video on him. Who knows? That's gonna do it for this video. As always, do the smash button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next